Ohio, James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster with UC Bearcats on the Prowl. We're excited to talk about all the great things that are going on with football and all the interesting things that are going on with basketball. So, Mark, how's it going with you?
Good, man, good. James, if I have to vote, I'd say let's talk about basketball first so I don't get too worked up. So, yeah, I can ruin the night.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the men's team, you know, they're 2-2. Got off to a good start by beating Lipscomb. And that was a come from behind win. You know, they started slow, but they were able to come from behind. They were able to overmatch the team. But then they lost to Xavier, which is always a bummer. And, you know, I mean, crosstown shootout rivalry game kind of sucks if they only had one game before it, you know, to prepare and to gel together as a team. So, and then they bounced back with a decent win against Furman, and then lost last weekend. I guess it was last weekend to Tennessee. You know, so it's a case of they can beat up on the teams they're supposed to, and when they go up against the guys who present a challenge, they're struggling. But you know, it's early.
Oh, it is definitely early. I mean, like you said, just 4 games into the season, and one of them was to the top 15 team in the country, Tennessee, Xavier, who's very solid, and then Fordham and Lincecum aren't bad teams.
Right. So, you know, I don't think it's time to hit the panic button. The thing that kills me about that Tennessee game, James, I believe I saw a stat where Tennessee was 25 for 30 from the free throw line. Or it might have been 20 out of 25. UC was 5 out of 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you talk about a little bit of a disparity now. You know, that's that looks awfully fishy, especially when you're playing at Tennessee, you know.
Oh, yeah, 25 of 30. Yeah, that is versus 4 of 7. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's a little ridiculous.
Exactly. Hey, you know, that's one of the unfortunate things about college basketball. You get a lot of home cooking.
Well,
especially.
Yeah, and then, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, especially when you're in the SEC.
And then things become a ref show. You know, I mean, the refs think that everybody's there to watch them, and you know, oh well. I don't want to get on my soapbox yet. It's just, you know, let's see how Brandon does with the team and see how he gets them to gel a little bit now. You know, he's going to have some time to practice with them and see how it goes. I agree with him. He said he wished that the crosstown shootout had been in February, you know, just to give the team some time to play together and see how they can do. So, yeah, this will be a different team come February. So
they got South Florida coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, and then who do they have after South Florida?
Georgia,
yeah, another SEC team. Let me guess. Oh, it's at Georgia. Let's see how big the free throw disparity is there, huh? But you know, the way the schedule shapes up, they can afford to lose to Xavier and Tennessee. Now, what they can't do is lose teams that they shouldn't lose to. You know, they got to take care of business and go from there. So
exactly. That what was it, Chattanooga last year or somebody like that,
yep.
Where they lost at the last minute or last second of the game.
Yeah, should have never lost that game.
Yeah, that still bugs me. I mean, that game, it just was one of those where oh my gosh, yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's what was going to make us sweat coming down to tournament time, you know, a loss to a team like that. So I think let's just go about taking care of business. You know, I mean, it could be worse. We could be Duke, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so far, you know, can't go complaining about the losses. And then, of course, the other interesting thing, I believe we had a player of the week for basketball.
Did we? You know what? I didn't see that. Who was it?
It was, when was it? It was like one of the sophomores or freshmen.
Let me see here. I can pull up my headlines and see. You know what?
It was junior. It was a junior guard.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome.
David DeJulius. Yep.
DeJulius. Okay. To be recognized, for your play, it's a good thing. Especially since he's one of the new ones. So that's awesome.
Exactly. So they got some good stuff going on in basketball, but the real important thing, of course, is college football. And it's kind of funny, not funny ha-ha, but funny unfortunate. In the polls, they're number 6.
Yep. Yeah. And the polls are number 6, which is right about where I think they deserve to be, with the teams they've beaten. And they haven't played recently, because of COVID, and they are going to get to play the American Conference Championship game, it looks like. So that's all a good thing. So I think 6 is about where they belong in both polls. But I guess that's.
So who was it we missed out on playing? Was it Tulane or Tulsa that we were supposed to play on the 5th as a makeup game?
It's whoever we're playing again in the championship.
Okay, so what? Yeah, I was going to say it was Tulsa.
Yeah. We and then we missed out on playing them last week because they were going to play. They had rescheduled it from the 5th to last week to the 12th, and it got canceled. So and then they're just like, well, you know what? We're just going to do it on the 19th. And so as of right now, it looks like it's all systems go. In fact, I believe I saw earlier today
1,500 fans. Yep.
Yeah, they were working out a way to get fans in there, and that's good. That's good. Get some fans in there and let them cheer in the Cats. It's been a good season for them. So
definitely.
So they deserve it.
It is. It's been a great season, and hopefully they're able to continue with this on Saturday. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. I believe it's going to be on ABC and 700 WLW.
Yeah. It'll get a good slot. There's going to be some competition. What time did you say kickoff was, James?
8 o'clock.
Okay. So they won't be competing with Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game because that's at noon. So get some eyes on them, and it's painfully obvious from the latest college football poll that some of the experts, the pollsters, need to watch this UC team.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's basically like they just need to come out and say, hey, if you're not a top 5 power conference, we're not even going to consider you. Yeah. We've been skirting around the topic, and might as well just address it head on. The college football poll came out, and somehow UC dropped to 9. Our top 4 stayed the same. I get it. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Ohio State. I understand. Those are the blue bloods right now. And if you're going to be if you're talking eye test, which is unfortunately what you have to talk about a lot in a season like this, I get it. I'm not upset about that top 4, and knowing that Clemson and Notre Dame are going to be playing this Saturday, I believe, in the AAC Championship. I think if Notre Dame loses, I think they may still be in the top 4. But if Notre Dame can beat Clemson, I don't see a 2-loss Clemson team making the top 4. So that's something that we have to root for as UC fans. So, but James, I think the puzzling thing is who's UC's 9th. So that means there's a 5, 6, 7, and 8, and it's those teams that completely just baffle me. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's almost inexcusable the way that they're ranked. And like you said, it's a smack in the face of the non-Power 5 schools. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I get Coastal Carolina is not even 11-0, 25-0, 50-0. It just ain't happening. Right. But UC is. I think UC at least has an argument. US or UCF had an argument a couple of years ago when they were in the situation. So it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. Yeah, it's frustrating, man, because Iowa State is ranked ahead of them. Okay. Now, I don't know if you remember, because this was early in the season, but Iowa State lost by 17 points to Louisiana.
not LSU, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, and they were so upset about that loss that the coach hinted at canceling the season. He was basically saying, I'm going to take my ball and go home because we can't beat Louisiana. Now imagine this. They've got 2 losses, and they're ahead of UC. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's the Big 12, dude. The Big 12, yeah, it's Power 5. It is not quality. It's not good football. It's not. It's just they don't deserve it. I'll just say it that way. They don't deserve their ranking. You lose to Louisiana.
Yeah, that just ain't right. Yeah, I was going to say they're not a power team. They're not. There's nothing special about them. It's not like they're having, I mean, well, actually, no, they're having a good year.
They're having a good year.
Yeah, 9-1. They're not bad, but
so they're 9-1. You know what? Then maybe they could have a little bit of an argument to be ahead of UC, but the problem is they lost to Louisiana.
Yeah.
That is. They've beaten some teams.
Oh, no, I meant Louisiana's 9-1.
Oh, yeah, Louisiana. I'm sorry. Okay. I got you. Yeah, Louisiana isn't bad, but it's not a Power 5 school. It's not a Big 12 school. I think you put UC out there against Louisiana. I think UC beats them.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I remember watching that game. I remember watching that game when Iowa State lost to Louisiana. I was like, dude, God, Iowa State's not looking good. And I guess they've got the hot coaching prospect there. I think Campbell, if I remember right, he's the kid who went to Mount Union, the Columbus kid or Ohio kid. So I don't know. But to tell you the truth, I mean, Iowa State bothers me, but the one that I just do not understand is Florida. Florida ahead of UC. Florida's got 2 losses. Florida lost to a 3-5 LSU team at home, and LSU only had 54 scholarship players. They had none of their starting offensive line and a true freshman quarterback.
But they won the national championship last year, so that counts for something, right?
Yeah, I can't.
Even though they're not the same players.
Yeah, I cannot believe it. I mean, I don't get it. And the thing is, James, I'm not the only one now. I mean, yeah, I'm a UC grad. I'm a UC fan, so I can stand out here in the wilderness and scream about it all I want. But if you go on Twitter, Tim Brando, Joel Klatt, who is a Big Ten honk, he's Big Ten all the way for Fox. Tim Brando is an SEC guy. Danny Cannell, who I don't like, but hey, he's arguing my point, so I'll take him. Any number of analysts are saying this is kind of ridiculous. UC doesn't play because of COVID, and they get dropped without losing a game, and they fall as far as a team that lost. So, and I don't know. It's discouraging. Hopefully,
it is quite discouraging. Yeah, I was going to say it's one of those things that it just really doesn't make you feel like there's any opportunity for UC.
Yeah, I mean seriously, James, this is where the college football committee should just say, you know what, we're just going to pick the 4 teams that we think are the best, and I don't care about your record. So it's frustrating. And James, I mean, I've said it time and time again, and people who listen get tired of hearing me say it. I'm an Ohio State football fan. I grew up an Ohio State football fan. The Buckeyes, they didn't play. Did they drop? No. And it's just, now granted, Ohio State has been boat racing every team that they've played against except Indiana, who was a very good team, and still is a very good team, But it sucks, man. It just sucks for UC football because they are good. Can they compete against Alabama? I don't know, but I sure as hell would like to see it. I mean, this team lost to Ohio State last year, 42-7, 41-7 or something.
Yeah.
I'd still like to see them have another crack at them. So.
Exactly. Like to see him get another shot at it.
Yeah, it really is. It's just disheartening, and I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the coaches. I mean, could you imagine sitting there watching that and seeing, oh yeah, you see, you're in at 9, and you dropped a spot even though you didn't play, but hey, Florida, they only dropped one spot too, but they played, lost, looked like crap, and lost to a team that earlier in the week announced, oh, you know what, this season's so bad that we're going to go ahead and self-impose a bowl ban so we don't get in trouble for recruiting violations. Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. You have a
yeah, that is a bad sign when they're like, we'll just take ourselves out of the running for the bowls. That's
you get the defending national champion. They're having such a bad season that they're going to say, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and self-impose a bowl ban in a year that they're going to take anybody to bowls. There's no requirements. So, it's just it's the money, man. It's the money.
So what's your predictions for Saturday?
Well, you know what? UC's got to go out there and just destroy them. I mean, they have got to go out there and just obliterate this team. And they're good. They've played good football. Tulsa has. And they Tulane. Which one is it, James? God dang it! It's one of those TUL schools.
Tulsa.
Whoever they play this weekend. Whichever one of those tall schools. They have, how long have we been doing it now? 3 years, and I still can't get that right. Jeez. But that's like that's my sticking point. They have to go out and just destroy them. Now, my concern about that, James, is two things, and you know this because you've been there. If you are on a team that has to flat out destroy somebody, you try too hard. And
exactly.
I don't want to see that happen. I hope that Fickle and the rest of the coaches can keep things loose, can keep the team focused. Because if they start trying too hard, things could backfire. And then if the coaches try to be too cute with the coaching, things could backfire. But honestly, I think they're going to go out and beat them. I think they're going to go out and I think they're going to do what they need to. Now, unfortunately, that puts it in the hands of the committee, But I think UC goes out and plays a good game and beats them. I think it's a 2-3 score game.
Exactly. Kind of a 32-24 kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd go even more than that, James. I'd love to see this offense open up and get into the 40s. I'd love a 42-21. I'd love a 42-28 win. Something along those lines. We'll see. And then, you gotta see what's going to happen ahead of you. I guess they play at 8. I think at the same time that's the SEC Championship, which is Florida and Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida and Alabama. So, they're going to have that game going on. Maybe some scoreboard watching. So it's just, I don't know, man. They've been put in a bad position, and they've been put in a bad position by a bunch of money-grubbing administrators who want to do nothing but promote the big conferences. You know what I'm saying? But I see a win. I'll get off my soapbox. I see a win, and a good one, a decent amount.
I agree with you. Hopefully, some of our listeners will be lucky enough to be one of the 1,500 fans. Yeah, that's awesome that the fans are getting a chance to actually go there and support the team. And, of course, it's going to be a great game. So for the rest of us, hopefully we'll be at home watching it on ABC or listening to it on 700 WLW.
Absolutely, man. Go Bearcats. They need this win. I think they'll do it.
Sounds great. I agree with you, Mark. And, definitely it's been a great season, and we look forward to covering them again next week.